Two of our region's biggest names in dairy are joining forces. Penn Hills-based Turner Dairy Farms has acquired Colteryahn Dairy in Carrick, the last operating dairy in the city of Pittsburgh. The deal blends two family-owned businesses. Dan Kleinschmidt is vice president of Turner Dairy, and welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much, Bill. I appreciate this opportunity to come out and talk about dairy.
Yes, you've got dairies that go back 100 years, all the way back to 1930 in the case of Turner. Why was this the right moment to bring these two companies together?
Well, the companies had been talking, not intensely, but over the years. Chuck Turner, the president of our company, had a very good relationship with Carl Colteryahn III, who was running Colteryahn Dairy. And one conversation led to another in the past year, and there was some interest there on both sides, and one thing led to another, and after a period of a few months, negotiations started, and one thing led to another to where we ended up over the summer.
It had to make sense for both companies for a variety of reasons. From Turner's perspective, what do you get out of this deal? What value do you think is this going to bring to the company?
One thing that we're really excited about is not only going into the Carrick area, but it's giving us plant expansion in the immediacy, because we're gaining new lines that we have another building, whereas in Penn Hills, we have the opportunity to grow, but it's a lot more in advance that you have to think about where you're going to put another line and how you're going to expand an existing facility. So this gives us the opportunity to make our branded products down in Carrick.
And so you're keeping the Carrick the Carrick operation as well. Are you going to be investing in that as a result of all of this?
We are. We've just also, in addition to the acquisition, are upgrading some equipment even as we speak that we expect to have online probably mid to late November, that is going to just free up and make hopefully both plants more efficient.
Now, will both plants produce the same product lines?
There's a possibility there will be some where both plants will be the same, but for the most part we'll send some items down to Carrick, and then we'll ship them out of Penn Hills. But there will be a few overlap.
Now, the Colteryahn Dairy is going to get a new name as a result of this, the plant itself, right?
They actually do have a new name right now, and it's called Pittsburgh Specialty Dairy.
Okay.
And you won't see any branded products, at least in the short term, for Pittsburgh Specialty. What they will be is they'll be making Turner branded products, as well as a lot of people don't know this, but if you have ABC grocery store, if they have their own line of potato chips or maybe dairy, they actually probably are not producing that product, but someone else is producing it for them. So if we have a company that wants us to produce something for them, we might do it in their brand for them.
Oh, okay. So a store brand kind of operation. You brought three examples of the kind of products that you produce. Only one of them has milk in it, it looks like, right?
And that's actually our newest offering. When I say new, we have some limited time offerings, and our newest one is chocolate banana that has been on the shelves for about a week now, week and a half. And we usually try to keep those 4 to 5 weeks out in the marketplace, and they've been very successful. Most people know about the chocolate peanut butter, which people are clamoring for all the time, but this chocolate banana has come off the shelves really well to begin with.
And that's great. And then the other products, everybody's seen the iced teas around. How long has Turner been doing iced tea?
We've been doing them pretty much as long as the dairy goes back.
Really?
And it's just been, Pittsburgh region is very unique to tea, and we hear those comments from some people that we deal with who have national or regional chains. They're like, how can we get our other teas to go in other areas of the country like it goes in Pittsburgh? And we're thankful that, we say there's only one tea in Pittsburgh, and we're thankful for the opportunity just to present it to our loyal customers out there.
Yeah, I knew this was a big coffee drinking region. I didn't know that tea, we also stand out in that respect as well when it comes to iced tea.
We do.
Yeah. Now, do you still, obviously in Carrick, there's no farm there, there's no cows, it's right there on Brownsville Road, it's a little built up. How about out in Penn Hills? Where do you get the milk from for the dairy?
Well, we no longer have any cows on site in Penn Hills, and people even say, how in the world did you get this processing plant in the middle of the neighborhood like this? And we're like, no, the farm was here first, and the neighborhood grew up around us. But the cows probably haven't been on site for a good 15, 20 years now. And what we do is we have about just under 50 partner producers that we purchase all of our milk from, the raw milk, and it all comes within 70 miles of our plant in Penn Hills. So it is local, it is fresh, and what our customers can expect is a lot of times what they're buying in a convenience store or grocery store is probably coming from a cow within 72 hours.
Wow. So it's really having that local sourcing really plays a big part in that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so how wide an area do you distribute to? What's your territory?
We go all the way up to Erie. We are in the eastern part of Ohio. We go down into the northern part of West Virginia, and we go all the way out near the Johnstown, Somerset area. So we've got about 70 routes on the road that are operating. Not daily, not Sundays, but pretty much 4 or 5 times a week.
Right now, will you expand geographically as a result of this acquisition, or is it more about serving your existing market better?
One of the things that was nice was Colteryann's footprint was already within the geographic region that we served. So what we're hoping to is to get more operating efficiencies within our distribution, where each of our routes can become a little bit smaller. We did expand to the 70 routes we were closer to the high 60s or mid 60s before the acquisition. So what this will enable us to do is stops that we were driving by before, because they weren't our stops, now we can stop at and make each route just a little bit smaller.
Speaking of stops, the Colteryahn name is associated with a big convenience store chain in the region called Kogo's. Now, was that part of this deal at all? Or?
It wasn't part of the deal. Colteryahn did serve Kogo's convenience stores, and we are fortunate that Kogo's has opted to go with Turner Dairy, and there is a connection between Colteryahn and Kogo's. So that was, like I said, not in ink that was going to happen, but it was certainly important to us and hopeful that we were going to acquire or be able to serve the Kogo's business.
Yeah, so convenience stores really important to your business these days?
They are, but any kind of business is important business. And the thing that we have at Turner Dairy is we've always been about the quality, and the service is kind of what we feel our niche is. There are other dairies who maybe their niche is about price, and that's not who we are, and that's not who we aspire to be. And not that there's anything wrong with making a cheaper product and selling it cheaper. But with the niche that we have, it's usually with health care, nursing homes and hospitals, as well as schools. We're in about 100 school districts right now that we're serving, so things always crank up in September for us. And as well as the convenience store, we have a nice niche there. Grocery has been a little tougher for us to get into, but we've been working on that.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it ramps up in the fall, obviously, for schools. So do you put on more cows? How do you deal with peaks and valleys in the dairy business?
Well, with our partner producers, one thing that Turners have always done, and that's to guarantee that they'll take every drop of milk that the cows produce. So it does become a bit of a challenge in the summer when the schools are out. However, there are outlets that you can get rid of excess milk. The challenge is doing so not at a loss or profitably, but butter plants will take milk in such bulk milk like that.
So that's how you manage it. Finally, how will this affect total employment? Do you expect to go up as a result of this? What happens to all those Colteryahn people?
Well, we already have seen an increase in employment in our Penn Hills plant. We're just under 200 people now. And one of the things that was very important to the Colteryahn family is that there was a place to land for their employees. And we've got about 24 employees that are down in the Carrick area that stayed with us, and then some of them also came to Penn Hills. Now, obviously, not all employees opted to go with us during the acquisition, and that was fine as well.
All right, well, very good. Well, good luck with the acquisition and the future of Turner Dairy. Dan Kleinschmidt, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your time, Bill.
Yeah. And next up, we're talking stress, on how to manage it, how to make the most of it. Stay with us.